Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Alexandra Anele. I am a self-taught makeup artist and I have a background in painting. Today, I wanted to talk to my hooded eye people. I am very aware that I don't have hooded eyes. I have ever so slightly hooded lids. And so, the older I get, the more hooded my eyes become, as is true for so many of us. There are people out there who have extremely hooded eyes, and I get comments from people all the time basically asking me to teach them how to make their eyes just not be hooded. And the sad truth of it is, aside from surgery, makeup can only do so much, okay? So what I want to do today is I'm going to use some celebrity examples. We're going to talk about why their makeup works, what their makeup artists have done to enhance their looks. And then I am also going to be including some images of, I went on some plastic surgery websites. Well, to be honest, I just searched Google for hooded eye examples, and a lot of them were like for blephastory surgery, which we're trying to avoid here. So I'm going to be using those examples, the before examples for those of you who have very hooded eyes who don't want to get surgery. So in this image, we have Sarah Snook. I think it's Snook. I'm pretty sure it's Snook from Severance. Not Severance. I've been watching Severance. What is it? I always got them mixed up. Succession, the 2S shows, very different shows, 2S shows. She has naturally very hooded lids, okay? This woman has hooded eyes. Now, the reason that this image, first of all, gorgeous. I love this so much. Hair, lips, skin, eyes, everything is just like jewelry. Everything is living. The reason that what I love about this look so much is that it is not trying to fight her features at all. It is not trying to fight her features. We are emphasizing her lips, okay? Emphasizing her gorgeous lips. She has these beautiful icy blue eyes. She does have hooded lids. You don't really see the lids. So to make sure that her eyes are not being completely lost, they are rimmed in this kind of like, it looks like black. It could be like a really dark gray, cool toned brown maybe. There's an emphasis on the lashes. There's a little bit of a hint of inner corner highlight. It's very hard to see in here because these lights are so bright and I can hardly see my phone screen. We are emphasizing the eyes without changing the eye shape, which I love. I so appreciate that because this is Sarah. This is what she looks like. These are her beautiful features. We are not trying to manipulate it to make it look like she doesn't have hooded eyes. She absolutely does, okay? So if you are someone who has hooded eyes, one of the things that you want to focus on is really like making sure that you are emphasizing the eyes, especially for Sarah. She's a redhead. She has very pale skin. Redheads often, like, they have light eyebrows. She also has light blue eyes. The eyes can sometimes, especially being hooded, can kind of get lost. So we're really upping that contrast, which is really making that blue icy eye pop like crazy, while again, maintaining her natural eye shape. So emphasis on a little bit of liner, a little bit of smoky liner along the lower lash line, obviously liner along the eyelashes. My guess would be that she is kind of tight lined along the lashes and then loaded up the mascara to really create the emphasis around the eyes. I love this look. I think it's incredibly beautiful. I think this is one of the apex looks for someone with hooded eyes who is trying to figure out how they can make their eyes pop without hating their eye shape, without hating the fact that they have hooded eyes. Also gorgeous dress, like everything is just working. This is an old example of Jennifer Lawrence, who I believe had some kind of an eyelid surgery as of recent. She used to be my go-to example for people who had hooded eyes. This is another example. It's very similar to Sarah's in the sense that they are emphasizing the frame of her eye, meaning like her upper lash line, her lower lash line, and then just really loading up with mascara, which once again, she has beautiful blue eyes, really making the blue eyes pop. They're not bringing a ton of shadow up above the lid. Like there's a little bit of dark color on the lid so that I'm assuming when she blinks, if you can see the lid a little bit, you want to make sure that it's blended, that it's not completely naked. So there's a little bit of that. It's focused on the outer corner, which is what you want to make sure that you're not making the eye weighed down too much. And then there's ever so slightly a little bit of a light shadow, slight contour, kind of blended out towards the tail of her brow in a little bit of a cat shape. But again, really good example of like framing the eye without manipulating the eye shape. We're not like trying to make her look like she doesn't have hooded eyes here. This is another example for Sarah, where she doesn't have much of an emphasis on the lower lash line that I really, really love. It's mostly on the upper lash line. So it looks a little bit softer. It's not as, you know, the other image was very much like high fashion. It was really like emphasis, like contrast. We're utilizing like the tone of her skin, the like pale tone of her skin, the red of her hair, the red of her lips, the frame of her eyes. This is a little bit more daytime. You know, she has kind of like that Audrey Hepburn lip color going on. She's got this kind of like pale, it looks like a lilac-y blue dress going on. And so the emphasis is really just like on the top lash line. Maybe she has like a teeny bit of like some mascara, teeny bit of some mascara on the lower lashes, can't really tell. On the upper lashes and liner, it could potentially be maybe like a cool toned gray to kind of like play off of that like baby blue lilac she has going on in her dress, which is beautiful. Once again, probably just like smudged out like liner, shadow, focusing on the outer part of the upper lash line, and then just mascara. Keeping it simple. Once again, utilizing that inner corner. I don't know if that's something that she just has naturally or if they did put a little bit of like a brightener in the inner corner, but her inner corner is looking nice and bright. I love this because it is like a really, really fun kind of like punk way for a more hooded lid to emphasize the eye shape without like, again, without manipulating the eye shape, because the upper part, like this part between her crease and her brow is still, it's really, really light. So it's not like, we're not trying to pretend that that area is not like coming down a little bit. We're deepening up everything. This is something I did a hooded eye video a while ago, and I talked about like deepening, like if your lid is just completely covered, like deepening up the entire lid. It really depends on your eye shape. It depends on like, do your eyes look so downturned? If they do, then maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you just want to focus on the outer corner. But I love this because it's balanced very much with the cat eye wing that's happening, which is smoky and pretty soft. If you're someone who has like a crease that comes down, then if you want to avoid this, you can. If you don't like it, if you feel like it gets messy, if you want to do this kind of shape and you have that crease that comes down, all you have to do is just literally like stamp the product over that crease, okay? Stamp it over that crease and then blend up a little bit. You can just ignore the crease. Like, who cares about the crease? It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't mean that you can't like create this wing. It doesn't mean that. That being said, if you're like me and you have like slightly hooded lids and you just like, it's hard to navigate, you can pull it like a little bit further out, further straight to kind of like avoid that area if that's just easier for you. Yeah, I love this look. I thought it was so cute. This, once again, Sarah Snook is just like she's just like an icon for the hooded eye world. There's so many celebrities who are out there getting this eyelid surgery who no longer have hooded eyes. And it's like, you guys are not giving us good examples for people who have hooded eyes who want to wear makeup. This is an example of like, once again, high fashion. If you are someone who has hooded lids, but you really want to play with color, you really want to make it smoky, this is gorgeous. I love this. Like, utilize that area that comes down. You don't have to keep yourself married to, oh, I can only work within my lid or like my crease. I'm only allowed to put eyeshadow on my lid. Absolutely not. Bring it up, smoke it out, smoke out the lower lash line. Like, I love this shape. I think it's beautiful. The colors work gorgeous. I mean, it makes that blue in her eyes pop like crazy. But yeah, just literally like covering the lid and bringing it up to emphasize. And it's very like intense. But you can still do this kind of shape if you have like hooded lids and you have this room to work with, and just tone the color down if this is something that you don't want to do. You know what I mean? Like, you can make it a little bit lighter. You can make it a little less red. So it's just an option. I love this look from, oh my God, I forgot her name. Camille Bell? Is that her name? What happened to her, by the way? Is she out there still? I love this look. This like this like beautiful pale green is so gorgeous. It looks so pretty on her, like kind of hazily, like dark hazel eyes. Like, So beautiful. I just absolutely love it with that peach lip. That's what we're talking about. This is a really great example of utilizing the inner corner and the lower lash line for a pop of color. She has like pretty hooded lids, I would say. Obviously, like there's quite a bit of lash going on, so you can't necessarily see it. But her eyes are maybe slightly downturned on the other, maybe not, maybe they're a little bit level, but they kind of like have the illusion that they're a little bit downturned, which I think is beautiful. Like it looks great. We're not trying to fight her eye shape. We're emphasizing that like lash and like creating sort of a cat eye, but not, again, not fighting her eye shape, not trying so hard to make the eyes look lifted when they're like not naturally on their own, you know? One thing that I emphasize so much with people who have hooded eyes, utilize your inner corner, utilize your lower lash line, okay? If you want to do pops of color, like this is such a beautiful example of a makeup look that will look beautiful on people who have hooded eyes. Load up the mascara, darken up your upper lash line. Doesn't mean you have to do a wing. You don't if you feel like you can't. But doing that and then doing a little bit of color on the inner corner and lower lash line, a little bit of mascara on the lower lash line, like a tiny bit so that you're balancing the upper lash line so it doesn't feel like it's too heavy. Especially with this light color, you want to make sure that it's a little bit light, like around your skin tone, maybe a little bit lighter than your skin tone, so that again, you're not deepening up that area too much, because if you have hooded eyes, you probably have quite a bit of shadow going on over here. You don't want to make the eyes look smaller. So keeping things a little bit light, beautiful. Beautiful example, gorgeous color on her. Love this so much. Don't forget about your inner corner. Like if you want to play and you feel like you don't have the room to do it, I bet your inner corner is a great place. Or your waterline. Love the waterline. This is another example of Jennifer Lawrence, but once again, just like that, similar to that Sarah Snook look that is a little bit more like high fashion. We're really utilizing like the upper part, right? So we're really, really blending up. So she obviously has her lash line lined. And then I'm assuming she has this kind of like antique-y gold all over her lid so that when she blinks and stuff, there's no like spaces in between. But then we are really like blending contour, like a darker color, into the outer part of her eye. So up here, thinking like straight out and then up a little bit towards the tail of her brow, which creates much more of like a lift to the eye and a little bit of a cat eye shape. This is just like a slightly more wearable version, very like bridal in my opinion, compared to like the Sarah Snook look that was like so high fashion, like that red. Renee Zellweger, again, great example. I think did she get eyelid surgery? I can't remember. I love this because once it like just playing up the lashes, even though, especially when she like squints her eyes, when she's smiling, you can see that like the lid comes down a little bit more on her, or not the lid, sorry. This area is coming down a little bit more on her lid. Those lashes though, so beautiful. Like it just frames the eyes. We have something a little bit lighter going on the lower lash line and then really, really dark lashes, like dark fluttery lashes. So cute. I love it. It so frames her eyes. It works with her features so beautifully. Don't be discouraged if like your lashes are not like so stand out. You can wear falsies, even if they get covered up a little bit. Like that, the fact that they're peeking through a little bit, it's like a little bit of mystery. And I just love it so much. It's not like so in your face. You can get away with using maybe like a slightly heavier lash or slightly blacker mascara because it's going to be slightly hidden. So this is just an excellent example of that. It looks beautiful. She's focused on gorgeous skin, black fluttery lashes, and that peach lip is just absolutely stunning. Okay, some examples that I want to talk about. These are some images that I found of like very, very hooded eyes. I want to talk to you about like how to do makeup, how I would do makeup on this eye, if it were mine. So hopefully this will help you if you're like, okay, I don't look like any of those women and I have like very hooded eyes. Like, what are we doing? So for this eye, what I would do is this area in here of the lid, I would keep very light. I would make that much lighter. So this area up top above the iris, you can see this whole area up here is quite light, right? Because it's coming forward, it's folding over the lid. So the highlight, the sun, the light is hitting it, all right? So we're emphasizing that quite a bit, which is gonna hide the eye more. So what you wanna do is take a color, basically that color this color or a little bit lighter. It can have a reflect, it can be matte. I would suggest a reflect, and put that right in here on the inner part of the lid. That is going to kind of like help to bring these onto the same plane. It's gonna open up the eye a little bit more. I would take a little bit of that, whether it's a nude color or if it's like like something colorful, like that pale green that we saw on Camille. Camille, is that her name? I hope so. I would take that and extend it into this inner corner, because like you can see, it's a little bit dark in there too, because that, once again, the skin above the lid is just folding over. It's kind of like creating shadows in those areas. So I would add a reflect, something shimmery, something light reflecting, something light, okay? Maybe like a couple shades lighter than the skin tone. Then in this area, on the outer part, I would lift up where the skin folds a little bit. I would line the eye from the outer corner all the way to right there. Like I would stop maybe just before the pupil and then just shade it in a little bit, you know, blend it in so that it's not like completely disconnected. And then this whole area out here, I would lift up that skin and just blend like the eyeliner, add a little bit of eyeshadow, put something dark in there that's gonna kind of like push that back a little bit, define the eye and give it a little bit of a lift, a little bit of definition. The lower lash line is beautiful. Like you have there's so much possibility here. You could do a colorful eyeliner in the waterline. You could do a light eyeliner in the waterline. I would probably not do like a black waterline. Maybe something like your skin tone and a little bit darker that maybe has a little bit of a reflect so that you're catching the light, so it's not like making the eye look too small. The lower lash line is so great though. Like you can do anything you want. You can put a color down there. You can just kind of like smoke it out a little bit. Once again, I would probably focus on the outer corner of the lash line so that you're kind of creating that like nice like V shape in there rather than lining the entire lash line with something dark, just because it's going to, like putting a dark color here in this inner lash line is going to kind of like, it's just gonna push it back in space. We wanna keep that area a little bit light. You also have the option of kind of taking this area right here where the skin does fold over, like once you've kind of like filled in that area after lifting up the looser skin, you have the option of kind of like pressing a little bit of dark color up here as well. Just blending up and out a little bit. I would avoid this area if you could, because it's already like pretty dark and there are some lines here, so you don't necessarily like want to mess with that. And just remember that when it comes to blending in areas that are difficult like this is something that I have to deal with already at 34. Having looser skin, it can be a little bit harder to blend. So if you're using a brush, rather than doing this, which is gonna get caught in that loose skin, padding like this. So that's exactly what I would do in this area. If you wanna give like a little bit of a lift and push that back in space, just a little bit, and this one area right here, I would just do a little bit of padding. Just taking whatever color, maybe your bronzer, maybe like a slightly darker eyeshadow, whatever it is, and just doing a little bit of padding up there and blending. You don't have to take, it looks like this eyebrow comes down like slightly lower. I wouldn't take it up super high, but if you just want to do like a little bit of something to create like a little bit of a cat eye effect, that's what I would do. Okay, this next one is a before and after that I found on a plastic surgery website. I just Googled like hooded eyes. As you can see from the photo, makeup is not going to magically make hooded eyes not hooded. Only surgery can do that. Unfortunately, there are those things that are, I don't know if they started off as like Japanese or Korean, but they're like these little like sticker type things you can put on your eyelid and they like push things back. I'll link them. I did a video trying them, but like they just weren't made for me. For this person's eye, beautiful. I think it's a gorgeous eye. And the makeup that she has on right now is so pretty. Like it's beautiful. I love the way that she is emphasizing her lashes, has a little bit of something on the lower lash line maybe. Just like, I just think it looks so gorgeous. And if this person wanted to play with a little bit of color, once again, utilizing that inner corner is just like so much fun. Plus, this person has a gorgeous waterline. Like look at that outer corner right there where the waterline is. It's so visible. If you wanted to put like a bright teal there or like a fun, like kind of orangey brown to make the blue in her eyes pop. A lot of these people had blue eyes, which is interesting. That's perfect canvas for it. And just, I can't get over how beautiful the inner corner is. Like, it's this gorgeous, like, foxy kind of like pointed inner corner. I always love those because mine are so rounded. So I'm always like, you know, you always want what you can't have. I think that's a perfect area to emphasize for this person. Like what she has going on the outer part of the lash line, upper and lower, gorgeous, love. Personally, I think, like, it's gonna sound weird, crow's feet to me just look like an extension of lashes. Like, I think they're so beautiful, and that's what I get from this image. Like, I just feel like the lashes just like blend into the crow's feet, and it just looks happy. Like, it looks happy, it looks beautiful. I love the way it looks. And she has this beautiful inner corner to play with if she wants to. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love it. I think it's gorgeous. I am aware that I don't have hooded eyes. I've done lots of hooded eye content, and I will link them around, maybe throughout the video up top if you want to check them out, if they would be helpful for you. I know that there are so many people out there who have hooded eyes who want so badly to be able to play with certain things. They want to do a cut crease. It's not going to happen. Love. I love you, but it's not going to happen. Unless you're Sarah Snook, you have like a ton of room up here. You can do it. It's gonna be very avant-garde, okay? It's not gonna look the way it's gonna look on other eyelids. It just isn't. But I want you to embrace that. I want you to embrace your eye shape, okay? Hopefully this helped you to kind of like understand where it's very simple. It's very simple. It's very similar to how other people, like other eye shapes, are doing their makeup. Focus on the dark colors on the outer and upper if you can, and focus lighter colors on the inner, lower, you know? Play with color in those areas. Use your waterline. Listen, a lot of people get irritated eyes. I understand that. If you can't use your waterline, use your lower lash line. Put color there, okay? Use your inner corner, please. I love a colorful inner corner. Like, are you kidding me? I guess you can't really see it. Can you? It's purple. It's like a lilac color, and it's really pretty. I love it so much. I hope this was helpful. I know there's so many celebrities who had hooded eyes who are getting surgery. I understand why, because it is so much easier. You can do a lot more with your eyeshadow when you have more lid space. You just can. That's the truth of it. And if you have hooded eyes and you're looking for makeup inspo, Sarah Snook is such a good example. Like, I just love everything she's doing. Like, her everyday, more like wearable makeup looks are great for people who are just like, I just want to like make my eyes pop a little bit. But she also has some really gorgeous like avant-garde stuff out there. So I would just search her, like Google her makeup and use that as inspo. Placement, gorgeous. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful in some way. You can subscribe, like, comment, leave a comment. What? You can become a channel member, turn on notifications, whatever. Let me know what you want to see next. Maybe I can find someone who has hooded eyes, get them in here, and I can show you some stuff. None of my friends have hooded eyes. So I gotta find somebody, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not easily accessible. I gotta like go out there and I gotta search for those of you. But maybe I'll put a call out to my subscribers who are in LA. If you're in LA and you have hooded eyes, I don't know, just a thought. All right, thank you so much for watching. I gotta go. I've been filming for too long and I'm like, I don't even know where I am. I've had a smoothie all day. I'm gonna die. I'm like actually gonna die. Okay, I love you. Farewell.